So let's say that you've been on keto for a couple of months and you've dropped some weight, but you can't see any kind of progress in the mirror. We're going to talk about why this happens coming up. We recently got a comment from one of you who wishes to remain anonymous, and that's okay. So we're going to read you this comment now. I've been on keto for 3 months and I have lost 30 pounds. I look the same. I see no difference. No one has told me that I look like I've lost weight. I have about 70 more pounds left to lose. I am very discouraged.
So first off, we'd definitely like to congratulate you on losing 30 pounds. We understand how difficult that is because Emily and I have been on and off this ketogenic lifestyle for the last 20 years. So we definitely know how it feels to lose about 30 pounds and then not see a change in yourself. And that's really disappointing. But we wanted to go over some of the psychological reasons as to why you might feel this way. If you are waiting for other people to compliment you on your weight loss, you might be waiting a long time or forever, honestly, because there are many reasons as to why people do not bring up like physical changes in other people, especially if you're like living with someone day to day, like your husband or your family. They see you so often that these like really small changes that are happening to you, they don't add up to them.
It adjusts over time so that it just becomes like the new norm. I can understand how it would be important to you that other people acknowledge that. But if you're not living with the person and you see them all the time and they still don't acknowledge it, it's because a lot of people don't like to talk about weight loss in that way because they don't know if you're going through something. The people lose weight when they're sick, when they're ill, when they're depressed. It's not always like a happy reason why some people lose weight. For the most part, like family and friends, they're used to seeing you, and so they're not going to be as aware of the changes going on until you reach a certain point, and we'll talk about that coming up. One of the things that Sarah and I always say is that you have to take pictures of yourself before you start. And if you haven't, do it now because these pictures will become more and more important as you progress in your weight loss journey. You should be taking measurements, you should be taking pictures, and they should not be flattering pictures either. You shouldn't be taking them at angles. Sarah can talk a little bit about this, how, I have a lot of unflattering pictures of myself that we show all the time on this channel, and that's because Sarah was the picture taker, right?
There's always that one person in the group that is aware and realizes that there needs to be moments captured, and it's usually me. I always have my phone out, or I'm always the one with the camera. I've always been into like photography and video making. So when we went on vacation in 2016, I had just gotten a new camera and I was playing around with it. And against Emily's will, I was taking a lot of video of her like walking and Brad, and I wasn't going to show anyone this footage, but looking back, I'm so happy that I took this amazing footage because we used it in like Emily's weight loss transformation video. And when I look back at my archive, I hardly have any photos or videos of me when I was heavier because I was always the photo taker and I only kept really flattering pictures of myself, like selfies, angled. So I don't really have the same like archive of photos to look back on and to see like my progress throughout the years. Emily has like great footage. You're lucky.
I remember when you were getting engaged, you were very particular about, someone getting you only from up atop. You didn't know that you were getting engaged in that moment, but like people were recording it because of that. But like you were very particular about only getting your upper from the waist up and do I look fat? And so it's not like you were just eager to get your photo taken. So what we're saying is don't like sugarcoat it. Just have somebody take the pictures, set it up on a timer to take the pictures. You will not regret it because if you're waiting for other people to acknowledge your weight loss, you will be waiting a long time. Next up, we're going to talk about another reason why you can't see yourself losing weight until a certain point. But first, that brings us to today's sponsor, Element. Cheers.
Today we are drinking orange salt, which is one of our favorite flavors.
Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. Element is formulated to help anybody with their electrolyte needs, especially somebody on a ketogenic diet.
Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium.
If you're new to keto, you lose a lot of water when you go into ketosis, and that can throw off your electrolyte balance. Element replenishes your electrolytes, which will help you feel better. And we just really love Element because it is literally the best tasting electrolyte supplement that we've ever tried, and we've tried a lot. Element is a longtime supporter of our channel, and we really appreciate them and your support by supporting our sponsors. And for a limited time, our Keto Twins community can receive a free sample pack from Element. All you have to do is pay shipping. You can click the link in the description and get your sample pack today. So now we're going to talk about a phenomenon. I don't know if it's a phenomenon, but it's an effect that that I learned on Reddit a long time ago called the paper towel roll effect. You might be thinking, what are you even talking about? I found this effect to be the perfect explanation as to why people feel the way they do about weight loss. Look at this roll of paper towels. Do you see how thick and full it looks? So imagine that this roll of paper towels is you. It's your body, right? Okay. So this is just an example, okay? So I've unraveled some of this paper towel, right? It doesn't look like it's changed. And that is how it is with weight loss. But the longer I go unraveling this paper towel roll, would you
Hold on. It's a little too fast here. I'm trying to keep it organized.
it still looks pretty much the same. And I've unrolled a whole bunch of it, right? But there will become a point when I get to about the center here, which I'm not going to do, where it starts to unravel very fast, okay? And that is exactly what losing weight is like. When you have a lot to lose, like person in this comment, they said that they still have 70 pounds to lose. That means that they're about 100 pounds overweight. In the beginning, losing 30 pounds, it's kind of like you haven't put a big dent in it yet. That's the problem. You are losing weight from all over. But after a certain point, and hopefully it's coming soon for you, every pound that you lose has a bigger impact on how you're gonna look. And so you just have to keep on going to get to that point where 1 pound has the same impact that 5 pounds had on you.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed in myself that, you know, I had the same issues. I lost 50 pounds and I could barely tell the difference. It wasn't until I was 70 pounds in where I started to see a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then 80 pounds, I was a completely different size.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah made a good point that I'm gonna let her explain about this having to do with the Valley of Despair.
So in an earlier video a couple of months ago, we talked about something called the Valley of Despair, and I think this kind of relates to it. Whereas in the beginning of your weight loss journey, you're really motivated, and even though you haven't seen results yet, you feel like the motivation of starting something new or having this really high motivation rate. And as you continue on your journey, your motivation tends to decline to a point where your mind starts working against you and you start thinking about all the reasons of why you shouldn't be on this lifestyle anymore. Like that you want to cheat because you aren't seeing results. And I think that this is kind of like coincides with not being able to see your progress on your weight loss journey. And eventually, if you watch that video, you know that there's a point when it starts going back up again because you start seeing the results because they compound after a certain point.
Another important aspect that I don't think people consider because they are waiting to hit this magical number before they do this, I know because I did it, is that they are not going shopping for new clothes. If you are wearing clothes that you wore when you were 30 or 40 pounds heavier, you are swimming in them and it's making you not look any different. I would know because I was a reseller for a long time. I have about 500 or 600 pieces of clothing in my house, designer clothing that I was selling online. And I didn't even consider that I might be able to fit in any of these things. And this was not that long ago. This is probably about a year ago. And when I went down into the basement, I thought, I'll just try to see if I can fit into the size small. And when I tried on the size small, it fit. And now I wear a size small. I can't believe it. When I went to go to a store, I'm trying on a size small on the top. I'm a little bit heavier on the bottom still, size medium, or even some larges in really small brands. But on the top, I am like a size small. I've even fit into extra small, which is absurd to me. I did not even think I would be able to fit clothing over my head in that size. Mm-hmm. If you are losing weight, you have to keep in mind that you're wearing clothes that are too big for you. This can lead to people thinking that you are bigger than you are. And I understand the mentality behind, I don't want to waste money because I'm going to be in between sizes and I'm just going to waste my money if I spend it now on clothes. But you don't have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. You need to buy a pair of pants and maybe a pair of jeans that fit you well. You can go to Old Navy and try on to see how you look in these pants. Because if it fits you, it's going to dramatically change the way that you look. Do not swim in your clothes. I remember when I was bigger, I wanted my clothing to cover me, like to the point where I wanted things to completely drape me to my knees. And it just makes you look bigger than you are. And we know how difficult it is because even when we were children, we were wearing really baggy clothes. When we were young, we would buy men's clothing, t-shirts down to our knees, really baggy pants because we thought if we looked like we were swimming in the clothes that we looked smaller. I don't know what the mentality behind that was. I also had this thing where I didn't want Sarah to wear smaller clothes because I felt like people would see how big she was and compare us. So I would tell her
to wrap something around my waist.
Right, wrap something makes you look bigger.
Yeah.
And I thought somehow I was camouflaging it and my insecurities would even be on her so that people didn't like see her, because then they would think that I was bigger. So obviously, like you can go through a lot of mental strife when you are insecure about your body, right? And I understand the need to want to be comfortable, especially during this time during the pandemic. You want to be comfortable, right? And you don't have to go to a store like even Old Navy. Old Navy has pants on sale for like $20. But even if you can't afford that, go to a thrift store and see what size you are. And you can try on stuff at the thrift store now. And if you are a size 18, 20, 22, 24, try on one size smaller and go from there. You might be amazed at how small you look, because I've done it where I couldn't believe how much smaller I was. And it's like we in our minds are bigger. We're used to like walking this earth bigger.
It takes some time for you to
adjust into the new size that you are. So we wanted to know, at what point did all of you finally say, wow, I look really different? Was it 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds? Let us know in the comment section below. I think it could be very inspiring for those of you who are just starting out, when you can expect to start to see that change in yourself.
And if you like this video, please give this video a like. It really does help us out with the YouTube algorithm so that more people see our videos. And don't forget to subscribe. We would love to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you guys are losing motivation, why don't you click this video over here? We talk about the psychological reason of why you might be losing motivation and how you can overcome it. Just click this video right here and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out.